Thanks so much for joining us. I'm Lorelai Shamayo. This is MeWe Fairs, your safe space for authenticity and transformation. We have events throughout the Pacific Northwest, many online, and we interview our practitioners and vendors so you get a chance to know who we are before you meet us at an event. I'm excited to be here today with a Soul Guide. Soul Guide, it's lovely to be with you.
Thank you so much for having me.
You're very welcome. So tell us, what is it that you do? What do you offer at our events?
So I do a few different things. I do career readings. That's one thing that I really enjoy. It's kind of where somebody comes to me and they don't know if they should stay in the career that they're in or if they should change to a different career. So we do a reading on it. We see what's going on. We see what could be a possibility for you. We see what's happening underneath the surface of everything. So that's one thing that I do. And it gives somebody a lot of clarity into what's happening with them and what might happen in the future. And a lot of the time, I find that later on, they tell me this is what happened. This is kind of, what you said. So I was like, oh, I think that's great. If it's something obviously that they want. If it's not, then I find it to be a lesson that they can use for going forward in their life. So that's one thing I do. Another thing that I do is a solar return, and I really enjoy doing those. That is an astrology type of situation where I offer um, I look at basically the time of the year after you have your birthday. I look at the year ahead. And the reason I like it a lot is because it tells you what will be favorable for you. It tells you what might be a challenge. And I don't really like to frame it as even a challenge. I think of it as something that you're here to learn, or even something that might push you into your next stage of evolution. So I look at it that way. I really, really think that that's positive. And I really like to look at favorable stuff. So I tell you what's going on favorably. But the thing that I do differently than I think most other people who are astrologers is when I see a challenge, I actually give you intuitive guidance on how to handle it. I don't just say, hey, here's the issue. I tell you, here's the issue, but this is what I'm getting. This is how you need to handle that. So that's the reason I do that is because one, it helps you calm down. It helps you realize it's okay. You just have to, take certain ways to deal with something. And the other reason I do it is so that you don't feel stuck. Because honestly, when it's a challenge, you could feel stuck. So that's the two things that I do. And then the other things that are a little bit more, I want to say two of them are like one-off sessions. So whenever you need them, you can come and do them. One of them is a 6-week container. So I do clarity sessions, and that helps you really get to the direction that you really want to be taking. So if you are looping, a lot of people overthink, a lot of people loop. So I kind of get you to see that, but then get you out of that so that you can be on your way, basically. And then I also offer pattern reading. So when I do that, it's more about looking underneath a situation to see what's going on, to see what the patterns are, to help you get out of that, and to have you also be on your way. So I find that I'm very good at seeing beneath the surface of what's going on and to also help you get out of the pattern. Because I find that a lot of times people are stuck in a pattern and then they need to get out of it. But it's not only that, they get stuck in a pattern, they get out of it, but then they repeat it over and over and over. And when they do that, they don't know why. So I always say to people, when you do that, it's like you need to learn the lesson to get out of that. But once you get out of it, you might get back in it because the universe will test you again to make sure that you really did learn your lesson. And when you did learn your lesson and you prove that by the universe giving you a random test to tell you, hey, is this really done? And you finally say yes and you move on, that's the situation where I think you did learn the lesson and you have the clarity to know why the pattern was showing up. So that's more of what I do with the pattern one. The crossing is something that I really, really, and I think it's great. It's more about basically changing not everything in your life, but going into a different phase of life.
Mhm.
So that's where it could be a career thing too, where you're trying to change your career, but I find it to be more about identity. I find it to be more about people that are changing their identities. Like, let's say they did something for a long time. It could be work related. And let's say they don't want to have that type of identity. They don't want people to know them like that anymore. They can change something, but that requires a release. That requires changing your mindset, all of that. I don't really do mindset work. I do pattern work, but I really, really like to have people understand that they can change something. So I look underneath to see what's going on here. Can we change this? Do I help you with removing stuff? No, but I help you see, okay, you can change this thing here and let's move to the next phase of your life. And that's a 6 week thing because that takes a while to do.
Mhm.
That's not a one session thing. That's why it's
Yeah,
6 weeks.
great,
And
great.
by the way, I didn't even say this. I use astrology, tarot, and oracle and numerology in many of these sessions. So you're getting real stuff here with what's really going on with the planets, with what's already encoded into your energetics.
That's great. That's where I was going to go next with a bunch of modalities. I was taking notes on different things. It's cool. Okay, that sounds like you're also, I'm just say the way you talked about your work, and just before we get on to, it sounds like you're also like generally channeling or using intuition, or there's other stuff that's
Yes, a lot of my
coming
stuff
into.
isn't, yeah, a lot of my stuff is intuitive clarity. I find that when I'm in sessions with people, I will be talking about something and I have no idea why. And it'll just be coming straight through me. And a lot of the times it's going so fast that my mouth can't keep up with what's coming in.
Hmm.
And then I'll just say something and then the person will be like, oh my God, like, wow, that's a lot. But they don't take it as overwhelming. They take it as, that's a lot. My God, you knew all of that. And it doesn't, it's something that I channel, so it's something that just comes right through me. And a lot of my stuff is intuitive clarity. A lot of my stuff is just very big on seeing what's really going on with somebody and helping them get to the next phase.
Great, great. So it sounds like people come to you for all kinds of reasons, and then there's the main things they come for. But
Yeah.
yeah, all kinds of different things. That's great. Well, it's fun to have you at our events. It's great to have all these different ways that we bring in information and all the different kinds of topics we can address. If people want to connect with you online, where do they go?
JuliaTSacredGuide.com. That is my website. What I would say there is I have different ways to get in touch with me there. If you want the crossing, if you want a pattern reading or a pattern session, and if you want a clarity session, I have links where you can schedule those. So I have you schedule first, and then I will send you the payment part separately. And then I do also have a Substack also and I have a school. So the Substack is under the Soul Guide. So feel free to follow me there. And then I also have an Instagram too, so Soul Guide 01. So you can find me also there. And then, yeah, those are the main ways to find me.
Great, great. And thank you everyone for listening and watching. You can find the Soul Guide and all of our events at MeWeFairs.com. Thanks so much for being here.
Thank you.